Wash Authority.
Eric here with Wash Authority Academy, and today I want to talk to you about the different tips we use and the different things we use them on, and just kind of identify which tips are which. So let's get to it. Okay, so first tip. This tip right here is we call it a shooter tip. It allows us to soap at a high pressure or a low pressure, very high up, and so it allows you to throw soap. Depends which machine you're on, but anywhere between 30 to 45 feet. The next tip you have here is a high pressure tip. So hopefully you can see this, but basically that tip right there says 15065. The 15 is the degree of which the fan is. So as it comes out of this tip right here, as it comes out of the tip, it's going to come out and spread out. And so if you have there's a 15, a 25, and a 40. That's the most common ones. And basically what that means is how wide the tip is. The next number is however many gallon per minute that you're pushing at 4,000 psi. So the smaller the hole, the more the pressure. So you see on our shooter tip, it's got a big hole, so it's low pressure. That one's got a tiny hole, so this is your high pressure. And then your next tip here, we call this the fat boy. I don't know why we call it a fat boy. That's just what we've kind of coined it throughout the years and stuff. So the fat boy here, basically it allows you to rinse at a low pressure. We use it on house washing and just low pressure rinses. And then we also have here, we have this mid pressure is what we call this one over here. The mid pressure we use on decks, because if you use too high pressure on a wooden deck, you'll fur it, is what it's called. We'll use the mid pressure to rinse concrete after we clean the concrete. And so that's kind of how that works. And these tips, this here, what this little 4-piece set is, this is called a J-rod. And so the J-rod allows us to have all 4 tips with us on the end of the wand, to where if you're washing up high, you put your shooter tip on, you shoot high, you put on your soap. After you're done putting your soap on, you just clip it off, put your low pressure on, and then you go over with the low pressure. It allows you to have all that versatility. Instead of having a little pouch or whatever, I actually started off with a pouch, and it'd have all the different tips in my pocket, and I'd have to fumble it around and try to figure it out. So these are pretty consistent in the order they're in, but it's good to know what tips we use and how we use them.